Okay, class. So after understanding GW, class, after understanding G and after understanding GN, we are now further trying to analyze the Harrod model. Okay, so what we are going to understand today is the working of Harrod model. Okay, and we are trying to first understand what is the actual growth rate. Okay, that is how is G understood and how it is calculated. Okay, all right. Now if you look at the formula over here, GC is equal to S. Okay, GC is equal to S. Now what is this G and C? I've mentioned over here. What is G? Actual rate of growth. Okay, actual rate of growth is what? All right, actual rate of growth is nothing but, okay, natural rate of growth of the economy. How do you understand the natural growth rate of the economy? It is a ratio of delta y to y. That means, okay, a change in income, all right, a change in income which brings about future changes in income of the economy. Okay, so at this stage today, if the Indian economy's income is there, okay, then how much of that income will create consumption, how much of that income will create savings, how much of that income and savings will help in creation of demand, and how much of that income will help in creating consumption, savings, demand, as well as investment. Okay, that is capital output ratio. Okay, how much will it increase so that the economy will reach a proper G. Okay, and whenever it reaches that new G, that will be called as delta Y. Okay, so let us say, for example, if Indian economy moves from 6.8 to 7.2, okay, then 6.8 is your denominator, okay, y, and 7.2 is your numerator, और दोनों का जो difference आपको मिलेगा, that is going to be G. So in a matter of 1 year, from 6.8 to 7.2, the Indian economy has actually grown by this much percentage. Okay, by this much percentage. All right, and I have also mentioned over there C. Now what is C? C is equal to marginal capital output ratio, or I upon delta Y. Okay, now what is again I upon delta Y? देखो 6.8 and 7.2, ओके, इन दोनों में का जो डिफरेंस है उसमें से सेविंग्स होने वाले हैं क्लास. डू यू ऑल एग्री? Okay, 6.8 and 7.2 is the new income that is generated in the economy. Okay, out of that new income there will be consumption, there will be savings, there will be consumption demand also. Okay, so out of that 6.8 and 7.2 जो delta y, new delta y है, उसमें से होने वाला है savings और उसी में से होने वाला है investment. That is why you have written there I upon delta y. Okay, change in income brings about a change in investment also via the savings, via the savings. Okay, तो नीचे जो है वो S है, which is denoted over here also. There is a small s over here. GC is equal to S. So ultimately it depends upon savings. Okay, so saving income is going to be nothing but S upon Y. So out of a given income, how much you are going to save, point number one. And secondly, out of a change in income, how much you are going to save. When you are going to save means it is not you and I alone. Okay, it is all the people in the economy who have received income. Okay, because national income has increased from 6.8 to 7.2, and the difference between the two, okay, out of that some will go for consumption and the remaining will go for saving, and that saving will pull the economy, okay, further up for a new round of national income through investments. Is this much clear, class? Please tell me if this is clear. Otherwise, I will have to repeat it again to you. Give me a yes straight away by unmuting yourself. It's very important. Class thoda loud rahoge. Priyanka said yes, I think. Okay,
Yes,
others?
ma'am.
Yes, okay.
Okay.
Yes, please be very,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
yes, thank you. Be very clear with your concepts, okay? Once you understand this, understanding will not be difficult, okay? Otherwise, the theory is a very long theory, okay? Now, what Harrod has done is he has broken up the equations, He has broken up the equations, all right? Now, see what happens. Okay, substituting the values, we get delta y upon y. Okay, so what is delta y upon y? It is G. What is G? Actual rate of growth, 6.8, correct? Okay. Multiplied by I upon delta y. Okay, I upon delta y is what I told you, out of the difference between 7.2 minus 6.8. Okay, whatever is the consumption and savings, okay, that is what is I upon delta y, will ultimately give you S upon y in the economy, will give you S upon y. That will, it will give you what is the rate of savings in the economy out of the income. Okay, out of the income. ये जो income है class, it is not your and my income. We are talking about aggregate income of the economy. All right. Now, if instead of writing like this, I have written it like this, then I get delta y upon y multiplied by I is investment upon delta y, all right, is equal to S upon y. Then definitely y and y will get cancelled. Delta y cancel off. Okay, and you're left with I upon y is equal to S upon y. Okay, and when you bring this on this side, y is going to cancel off, and ultimately you're left with I equal to S. Okay, class, you are left with I equal to S, or again we go back to our Say's law of markets, where Say's law of market had said ultimately all savings is going to be equal to investment, and here also we get the same relation, I is going to be equal to S. Only thing is the approach is different. The approach is different. Okay, what did the Say's law of market say? The Say's law of market said that adventurous people who are wanting to keep money in the banks will keep it to earn a rate of interest, but ultimately that will be borrowed by the capitalist and it will be invested. Okay, what is Harrod saying? Harrod is saying that if there are any savings, okay, then savings is going to be, okay, changed by investment, because there is going to be demand for goods and services in the economy. Okay, and that will promote investment, and that will lead to further growth of the economy. It will lead to what is called as a new growth for the economy. All right, or it will help the economy to achieve what is called as GW, or as I told you, warranted rate of growth. Clear, class? Give me a quick yes, or you want me to repeat again? Also tell me, please repeat. I will do it for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Shruti is saying okay. You all seem to have understood. Okay. Right. What are your messages here? Yes. Okay. Y'all are understanding. Y'all are understanding. Okay. All right. So very quickly now, class. Okay. I hope y'all will answer with me. G is what? Actual rate of growth. Okay. G is actual rate of growth. Okay. Which is delta y upon y. Okay. Which is delta y upon y. All right. Delta y upon y. Okay. C is marginal capital output ratio. Okay. Which is I upon delta y. Okay. I upon delta y. All right, and S is equal to saving income ratio. Okay, now if we substitute these values in this equation of G is GC is equal to S, we ultimately arrive at this information where savings is equal to investment. Okay, or where investment is equal to savings. Okay, all right. Now what is the implication of all this equation? The equality between saving and investment. Okay, export sense, in the sense you are trying to export savings into investment. Export sense means you're exporting savings into investment. Export over here does not mean exporting of goods and services out of the country. No, remember Harrod and Domar model have assumed a closed economy. Okay, so over here the word export means you're sending saving to investments. That is, you're asking savings to be invested in the economy, and that is called as exporting of investment. Okay. The equality between saving and investment is a necessary condition for achieving steady growth rate, and it is also called as dynamic equilibrium. Okay, so to achieve a steady growth rate in the economy, savings must be equal to investment. Okay, I hope you all understood. Savings must be equal to investments. Why? To achieve steady rate of growth. To achieve steady rate of growth means to achieve G. Okay, to achieve G. Clear, class? Everything is clear? Yes.
Yes,
Okay, all right. Now we will go further. We will understand what is warranted rate of growth. Okay, we'll understand what is warranted rate of growth or warranted growth rate. Okay, GW. GW CR is equal to S. Okay, what is this new thing? What is this R and what is this W? Okay, what is this R and what is this W? Okay, GW I've already told you it is what is called as warranted growth rate. Okay, warranted growth rate क्या था? मैंने आपको बोला था India must try to achieve 10% growth rate. Okay, so trying to achieve, okay, is warranted growth rate. Okay, what is CR? Amount of capital required to maintain warranted rate of growth. Okay, so if you want to maintain the economy at 10% growth rate, then maybe 33% savings is not sufficient. We need 35% savings. Okay, we will need 35% savings in the economy. Okay, so rate, so what happens is warranted rate of growth, S is equal to saving minus income ratio. Okay, saving minus income ratio. All right, so it means that whatever is the income in the economy, all right, to that the savings must increase. It must increase from 33%, okay, to what is, all right, what is called as income. Okay, must increase or help the economy to increase the savings from 33% to maybe 35%. So that 35% savings will help the economy to achieve that 10% growth rate. Okay, and that 10% growth rate will be called as warranted growth rate. Okay, which the Indian economy wants to achieve. And once Indian economy starts achieving 10% growth rate, then that will become the natural growth rate and steady growth rate. Okay, that will become the natural growth rate and steady growth rate. So again, which factor is going to help us to achieve savings? Why savings? Because savings is equal to I, or I is equal to S according to Harold Dommer. Okay, all. The implication is if the economy is to advance at steady rate of GW, okay, advance means if the economy wants to move to 10% and wants to remain there, okay, then that will fully utilize its capacity. Okay, the economy must completely utilize its capacity, all right, and income must grow at a rate of S upon CR per year. Okay, that is growth rate warranted depends upon savings, and it depends upon the amount of capital required to achieve warranted rate of growth. Okay, that is amount of investment required to achieve the rate of growth. Okay, so it becomes GW is equal to S upon I in simple words. Okay, so S upon I decides, okay, whether the economy will achieve that 10% or whether it will not achieve that 10%. Okay, class, got the difference between warranted growth, natural growth and steady growth rate now? Now things are clear? Okay, yes?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, see, if I go one slide back, if I move back, I have actual growth rate. I've explained to you what is actual growth rate. Okay, this slide talks about the warranted growth rate. Okay, warranted growth rate. Okay, right. Now we'll move further and we'll try to see what is the next part that we are to study. Okay, the next we are going to study is natural growth rate. Okay, I began with 3 growth rates. Okay, and this is natural growth rate. Okay, what is natural growth rate now? Okay, GN CR is the amount of capital output ratio, okay, that needs to be there in the economy, matlab investment, okay, is equal to or not equal to S. Okay, very correct, class. Okay, what it means is today's natural growth rate of the economy, okay, and today's investment that is there in the economy may be equal to savings or may not be equal to savings. Okay, like I told you, savings GDP is 33%, whereas investment in the economy is only 25%. Okay, so CR is definitely not equal to S in our example. So if CR is not equal to S, to achieve that natural rate of growth, somehow the economy must try to bring CR equal to S. Okay, the economy must try to bring in S is equal to I. Okay, the economy must try to bring S equal to I or I equal to S. Only then the economy is going to achieve maximum growth rate, and the economy will be able to achieve it with the help of all its available natural resources, including the factors of production. Okay, so what is needed under natural growth rate is GN CR, okay, must be equal to or may not be equal to S. If it is not equal to S, then the activity in the economy must be, okay, it must start trying to reach GN, okay, it must try to reach the natural rate of growth, all right, if it is not yet over there. Okay, now your question can be, what about the economies in the world? Is there any economy which has actually reached a natural growth rate or not? Okay, so my answer to this would be yes, class. Okay, there are some countries which are closer to natural growth rate. Okay, that is because labor in those countries is almost closer to full employment. Okay, now where is this happening? This can happen in a country which is very low populated. Okay, for example, in Scandinavian countries like Sweden, Norway, okay, Ireland. Okay, these are countries with very less population. So over here the natural growth rate is almost achieved by the economies over there. Okay, the US economy also was there once upon a time at natural growth rate. Okay, but now they are experiencing problems of unemployment. Okay, post 90s. Okay, and the decade of the 2000. All right, they have been facing the problem of unemployment. All right, and that is what they are trying to overcome it. Okay, now they have started wondering that how to go closer to GN. Okay, a country like Indian economy is nowhere close to GN. Indian economy, okay, has to first tackle GW and then come to GN. What about a country like China? Okay, a country like China is also wanting to first fulfill GW so that it can reach GN. Now, why a country like China has not reached GN? Because still there is unemployment in the economy. Full employment has not yet been reached. Okay, and that is why, okay, the economy must reach what is called as full employment. Okay, if they have to reach closer to GN. So there are many factors which help the economy to achieve natural growth rate, which becomes steady over a period of time. Okay, which becomes steady over a period of time. Now, if you look at the current pandemic period, every economy has been thrown out of gear. Okay, every economy's natural growth rate, steady growth rate, the growth rate to advance, okay, the GW factor and the actual growth rate, everything has gone for a complete collapse. Okay, complete collapse. It is now time for the Indian economy also to come out of it, and Indian economy must also recover from it, must also recover from it. Okay, class, right? I hope you all have understood what we have done today. We did three things. Okay, we did what is actual growth rate, that is G. Okay, I told you what is GW, that is warranted rate of growth, and what it means, GW. Okay, and then I spoke to you about natural growth rate, that is GN. Okay, natural growth rate. Okay, class, right? Is this much clear? Are we okay? Yes. Yes, okay. Shruti is giving me a thumbs up. All right. Actually, I can see a tile where I have only 4 or 5 students. So, yes, Yasin has also given me a thumbs up. What about others? Yes, Jai Bhanushali is also saying okay to me. So, also is Kinjal. Yes, Stuti. Yes, yes, my chat box has also started saying yes, I guess. All right. Yes, okay. Aarti Gupta, okay का मतलब क्या है? You have understood it so. Yes, Insha, right? Your name is Insha. Okay, right. Uh, okay, so Aarti and Romi all are saying कि Romi has said yes. Okay. Okay, Aarti, okay, you have understood the concept. Fine, fine, fine. Okay, yes, right. So all in all, you all have understood the concept class. Okay, great. That means if you all have understood Harrod-Dommer model, that means you all can understand other topics also. Now, my question to you is now that class, the earlier part, okay, and whatever we are doing today, okay, I will be happy if you all watch it at a stretch and you all understand everything. Okay, and if you all understand everything, I will just do one more slide, okay, and then I think we can stop for the day. Let me see. If it is Domar model, then I will not start today, okay. If it's only Harrod, then we'll continue with it. Okay, all right. Now, what is Harrod model telling us? Interactions between G, GW, and GN. Correct? Okay, now how are these three going to interact, okay, and how are they going to perform in the economy, and what is their role to play? If we compare GW with GN, what is GW? Warranted rate of growth. If we compare it with steady state of growth, okay, that is natural growth rate, huh? If we compare it with natural growth rate, it can be concluded that natural growth rate of the economy, okay, may or may not be equal to GW. Very correct, class. If I take a pre-pandemic situation and if I say 6.8 is GN, okay, GW is 10%. Correct, class? So 7.2, yeah, 6.8 and 10 are not matching, they are not equal. So this means GN happens to be equal to GW, okay. In case, okay, 10% is equal to 10%, then the condition of steady growth rate would prevail. That means the Indian economy has achieved G. If GW is equal to GN, or if GN is equal to GW, it means the Indian economy is at G. And what is that G? Okay, that G is 10% growth rate, okay, is what the Indian economy was trying to achieve, and it has achieved, and it will continue to remain at 10%. Okay, and it will continue to remain at 10%. That is called steady growth rate, and that is possible when the economy is almost close to full employment. Okay, when it is almost close to full employment. Okay, remember that, class. But such a possibility is remote. Okay, it is rare. Okay, because a variety of factors is going to influence warranted rate of growth as well as natural rate of growth. Okay, there is going to be a variety of factors that is going to influence natural growth rate as well as warranted rate of growth. Okay, now what are these variety of factors? Okay, they come into play and make balance between these two growth rated factors very very difficult. Okay, simple, class. GW है, GN है. If they cannot be equal, definitely is a normal situation, because there are many other macroeconomic variables which are popping in, okay, and they, you know, make the things a little volatile. All right, they make it very dynamic, and to achieve this equilibrium, okay, it is going to become very difficult. Okay, the status quo is also going to become very very difficult. All right, class. Okay, and what are these factors? You can imagine it can be exogenous factors, it can be endogenous factors. Okay, it can be factors of production, like labor may go on a strike, okay, so the growth will suffer. All right, certain other factors, like it can be a war situation from outside, it can be failure of monsoons, it can be too much of inflation, it can be sudden change in consumer preferences, so they are not interested in demanding goods and services. There may be savings, but nobody is interested in investing. Okay, there cannot be induced investment also, there may not be any autonomous investment also, private sector may not be interested in investing. Okay, or employment opportunities are not picking up, and a variety of reasons, okay, will pull GW and GN apart. It will pull them apart, it will, you know, not get them closer, it will pull them apart. Okay, so there exists a greater probability of inequality between GN and GW. Okay, so there is always a probability that GN and GW will never be equal. So it may take two forms. Okay, कौन से two forms हो सकते हैं देखो. या तो warranted rate of growth will be greater than natural growth rate. Very correct. 10% is going to be more than 6.8. Definitely. Okay, that is what we began with. Okay, that is what we began with. Or growth rate natural. Okay, natural growth rate will be greater than warranted rate of growth. Okay, will be greater than warranted rate of growth. Okay, will be greater than warranted rate of growth. All right, now what is warranted rate of growth? 10%. And natural growth of rate can be more than 10%. Maybe the economy is already on a steady advanced state of 11% growth rate. Okay, and Indian economy is already on 11% and it is moving up, or it is at least trying to maintain a steady 11% growth rate. Okay, so there is a possibility that natural growth rate may become more than the warranted growth rate. Then in that case, growth rate warranted का जो estimate है, okay, or percentage है, the economy must set it high for the next financial year. Okay, if that happens, it will be a utopian situation. It will be a state of absolute welfare, or maximum welfare, where you will have more of Pareto optimality. Okay, and in that Pareto optimality, more and more people will be better off and less people will be worse off. Okay, more and more people will be better off and less persons will be worse off. Yes, class, I hope you all have understood this much for the day. Okay, this much for the day, right? I think we will do this much today for understanding, because the next slide talks about implications. Okay, we can leave implications for the next part of the lecture. Yes, class? Yes, have you all understood this much?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, all of you all, whoever are paying attention, please, I hope you all have clearly understood. And if you all are giving me a yes, then it is really good that you all have understood it. Okay, all right. So what I'll do is, I will now open up the floor for question and answer session. If you all do have any, then ask. Okay. All right, now in the next part of the lecture, what we will do is, we will have a look at the implications of Harrod model, and then we will go to what is called as the Domar model. All right, and we will understand the Harrod and Domar model together. Okay, class.